Praise the Lord, Saints. It's Brother Emmanuel here. I'm here with a application called Great Sound. It's really awesome. It's gonna help you guys mix better. All right, and I'm going to do an overview of this whole application and how I'm running it later. But let's just get to the bare minimums of mixing. Okay. So there's 3 steps to mixing live. Okay. The first step is presetting the instruments. Second step is blending the vocals, and the third step is mixing. Okay, mixing or dynamics. So let's get started with that. Okay, so the first step, the instruments. Preset the volume of the instruments. Okay, and what that means is before Saturday night practice, when we all practice for Sunday service, you want to preset everything and make sure it's good. So the first thing you want to preset is the software band or any drums that you have, because that sets the precedent of how loud everything will be or how soft it will be. So let's go ahead and turn this up. Okay, now let's add guitar and piano to complement that or to play with that. So you want to blend it. That's nice. You want the drums and or the software instruments to be heard significantly over the guitar or piano, if not to where it blends. Okay, because people feel the drums. The drums is like the heartbeat of the band. You want to hear that, not necessarily the most, but you want to make sure it stands out, but to where it also blends. That sounded really contradictory. You just basically make sure that the guitar, piano, whatever melodic instruments that there is, you want to make sure that's blending with the drums or the software band. Okay, so right now this is good. You can hear the drums, you can kind of feel it, you can groove out to it. Alright, now step number 2, let's make sure those vocals are good.
Oh, in spirit and truth, singing glory, hallelujah.
Alright, so what I'm doing here is I'm making sure that the vocals are blending with the guitar and piano, so that way they're
let everything that has breath, let all creation together sing a song of your praise.
So you want to make sure it sounds like an actual live MP3 track that you're listening to. Okay, so you want to make sure that the guitar and pianos are and the vocals are blended.
Let all creation together sing a song of your praise. Let everything that has...
Alright, so now that everything is mixed, the guitar and piano set, you don't have to worry about those. The vocals are blending with the guitar and everything else. Now comes the last part, which is mixing. Okay, and that basically is, hey, is the sound building up, is it climaxing? Okay, then let's turn up the vocals and let's turn up the software band. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. The song just ended. Alright, no, okay. Alright, so just some tips on when you're mixing in the mixing section. You never want to add too much. You never want to add too much EQ. And that was in another video I believe I sent out. If I didn't, I probably forgot. But a sculptor never adds to the rock. He always takes away and makes what he wants. So with that same thing, if you find yourself turning up the vocals or the guitar or piano or whatever it may be, if you ever find yourself turning those instruments up just to get volume over something else, maybe it's time to turn whatever that is down and then just leave it. Now if it's a different story if it's just too low, and then it's fine, you can just turn that up. But if you find yourself turning something up while turning something else down, or just looking at something else and thinking if you should turn it down, then you should probably turn whatever that is down. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Alright, let's X out of that. Alright, so the song just ended. But yeah. Okay. Alright, so just to recap, you want to set the instruments. Now remember, the instruments, you normally don't want to touch the volume on the piano, because the piano has its own volume control, and the piano oftentimes will play at different dynamic levels. So if it's playing soft or loud, you want to make sure that it stays soft or loud. Now if you can't hear it while it's playing soft, it's okay to turn it up, but just make sure you turn it back down after it starts building up, because the pianist doesn't know what the volume is like out there. It just knows that, you know, it's feeling the spirit, and he or she is connecting with God and trying to play, being used by God. And so whatever they're doing, you just want to make sure that you help what they're doing. Okay, and then with the drums and percussion, for my church, that would be the software band. It's just like the regular tracks that we would play for the trace team. You know, you want to turn that up or down as the song starts to build and climax, but you want to make sure that the piano is not being drowned out by the software band. So you want to make sure those two things blend. Okay. It's actually relaxing to have the piano, because you don't have to worry about your own volume control, because the piano will build up itself. But it's just the only thing you have to worry about is the software band, because that software doesn't know that it needs to climax or not. Okay. Mixing the vocals, you know, you just want to make sure you get those vocals all nice and preset before service or before Saturday night practice, and then you're going to have to mix the vocals the most. So that's why it's the third step, because that's what you're probably going to be using your most energy on, as well as dynamics. The third step is mixing and dynamics. So you're going to be you're also going to be turning up and down the music and things like that. Actually, it's a good story, because the one time I was teaching the audio engineer at my church, you know, the one time we actually started doing that, you know, the atmosphere changed so much, and the music just got more real. We don't have live musicians yet, so as we started doing that with the track, people really started to receive the music more, as opposed to, oh, it's just a track. So dynamics really do make a difference. Okay, so that's everything on mixing. I went a bit over the time I wanted to go, but that's alright. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'm going to make another video on how to use this application better. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. God bless.